Hello, this is Brad again, back with you on YouTube as well as on my blog, chessgames.livejournal.com. I've been off for a while, and it's good. It's certainly great to be back. I am going to have a look at a game recently completed on letsplaychess.com, also known as chessworld.net. I'm just going to have a look at some variations in a couple different lines that were proposed by Fritz 10. Many of you will know that software as probably one of the better known and probably and arguably one of the best pieces of chess software out there in terms of database and analysis software for games. I really have grown to appreciate it. I mean, it's one of those things that you can just use over and over to really improve your game. It's probably the next best thing to having a grandmaster in your basement helping you look over your games if you're a player that just wants to continue to develop and improve, and you don't have quick and easy access to a coach. In any event, we're starting with c46, and it's a fairly conventional opening with 3 and 4 knights, and getting pretty close to the last book move. So we're kind of looking at castling here and getting toward the moment of, I guess, the moment of decision there. Do I take the knight? Do I not? So I just hit this choice. Just basically do. At this point, what we see here is that she decides that she's going to march on the H file with the pawn, and for some reason I decide that I'm going to counter by moving up a bit there myself, and Fritz doesn't care for that very much and proposes that my better focus is the center. And I have to agree, in hindsight, that this is a better focus. And we'll see this later on in the game, where I really do have a hard time. I eventually do win this game, but I have to tell you, she puts up a heck of a fight here. And so by focusing on the center, the variation on the line, the alternate line, kind of looks a little like this. And you'll see obviously the strength here, focused on rook e1 and knight taking over there. And then we've got the black with 2 bishops back here, obviously. Black castling, and a little bit like this. So that's what that looks like. Now, obviously, that didn't occur. So let's see what really happened. I bring a bishop out here, obviously capitalizing on this cutoff over here. We have a bit of a problem that the black has run into by cutting off this pawn. So we've got this situation that the black has run into. So I'm going to capitalize on that and grab that pawn and release that pressure that she's exerted on me. And out comes rook. Now, I moved here with my pawn. Now, this is another mistake that I've made, because a better move is here, obviously, because we've got to apply some pressure on this rook. Because that rook coming down here is not something that I want to see. So if we're following this line, rook doesn't really want to be too much in the way here. So following this line, according to Fritz, takes rook back this way and back here, and looks a little like this. But of course, that again didn't happen, and we wind up with this situation. There we go. So I wind up with some neighbors that I really don't really don't care for here. That being the queen and the rook, it's a less than desirable situation where I've had to pull up my king. I've got I think a greatly weakened pawn here. It's really not great. So this is where I find myself in this situation, and queen and rook coming at me here in a big way. So how do I pull myself out of this situation? Well, it's a bit I don't know, how can I say it? Let's have a look. Okay, first I got to get that knight out of the way. And interestingly enough, she doesn't respond to that. She castles queenside. So I just say, fine, I'll come back, and having captured that knight. Now we have the two rooks on their way down. I'm going to bring that knight back. And rather than taking, of course, I'm going to march up there, bring the queen over. And here's the move. Here's a move that's really critical in recovering from this, and that's the movement of this knight in here. The fact that she chose not to take actually was fairly critical in this game, and you'll see in a couple of moves why. And she chose to pull the queen back. I think what she was attempting to do was to maybe to get over here to apply some further pressure with her rooks, but what she wound up with was this situation where I took that pawn, checked, and then checked again, and then took the pawn. And what she did see, of course, was the immediate threat to her rook. What she didn't see was checkmate. In any event, there were quite a few mistakes on my part, and it was simply a matter of pulling out of a difficult situation. What she needed to do, obviously, was take this knight earlier when there was an opportunity, and that obviously didn't occur. Actually, excuse me, that was the other knight. But this knight needed to be captured earlier, and this the queen's retreat there, I think, was fairly critical. But we did have an opportunity to examine some of my own mistakes here, and I hope that was helpful. Anyway, it is good to be back, and I hope to have something else for you very soon. It's something that I call the one that got away. I hope that whets your appetite, and I'll see you again soon.